So this is probably the second part of that lesson, or second part of the double lesson, I guess you can say. We're still calculating areas and perimeters, but now of circles. Okay? So we got a circle. This is called the radius. Okay? Radius is the line that goes from the center of the circle to a point on the circle. Okay? And obviously, if I draw two lines, by the way, let's draw another radius here. All the radius will be the same. In this case, it will be 7 centimeters. Okay? Now, what is the formula for the area of the circle if you know what the radius are? Okay? I think some of you would have guessed right or remember right. Pi r squared. Okay? R is your radius. Pi is a number 3.14 and there's many other digits after that. Okay? Yeah, it's an interesting number, that pi. Okay. What is the perimeter? The perimeter will be 2 pi r. So it's the same pi and the same r, but now it's not squared, it's r. So let's just try and see how much it is for here. Okay. The area with r is 7 is going to be pi times 7 squared. 7 squared is 49, so the answer is 49 pi. Now, later on, you could leave your answer like this, but in grade 9, you're asked to write your answer in decimal form. Okay, so how do we do that? We just write 49 times pi. Where's pi? You will see at the bottom for my calculator is here. Okay, at the top of that, above that, there is that letter pi. Okay, it's a Greek letter. But because it's above the button, you have to press the shift, and then you can see pi, you write equal, and initially for me it just says 49 pi. Okay? But if you want an answer in decimal form, you have to press the S and D button there. I'm sure you've seen it before. And we said 2 decimal places. Enough? 153 times 9, 4. I'm rounding up. 153 .94, not time, 0.94. And because we work with centimeters, the answer will be centimeters squared. Okay? Now, perimeter. 2 times pi times 7. You can see that 7 times 2 is 14, so it's 14 pi. Again, later on in the years, you will be able to just leave the answer like that. But for now, we just need to write 14 times pi equal S and D, and I get 43.98. 43.98 centimeters. Okay? Right, that's our first one. Let's move on to 21. Okay, pause you here. Okay, so this is question 21. I'm going to be telling you the questions, but it doesn't matter. In 21, they're making our life a little bit harder. So we've got a circle, but the thing is, we don't know what the radius, we'll call it r, we don't know what that radius is. They didn't give that to us. So obviously, we can't straight away find out what's the area in the perimeter. But they told us that there is, if this is the radius, this is also the radius. They told us that this line is 8. These two are equal to each other. So that 8 is divided into 2 parts which are equal. In other words, each one of them is 4. Okay? And then this line that hits this line 90 degrees, that comes from the circle, hits that. I don't know if you can see it, but this is 3. Okay? This is 3 centimeters. So this is, just check, because I wrote it a little bit small. Check, please. Question 21 in page 197. You will be able to see it a little bit bigger. Okay, this is 3. We figure out that this is 4. That will allow us to find out what's the radius. Okay, you might have guessed it. It's 5, isn't it? Okay, it's Pythagoras. So we know that r squared equals 3 squared plus 4 squared, because this is a right angle triangle. Okay, and if you do that, you will find out that r is equal 5. Or you might just remember when sides are 3 and 4, the hypotenuse is 5. Only if it's 90 degrees triangle. So now I know what's the radius, and I can say, okay, pi times 5 squared, that's the area, and I'll let you do that. You can just put that in the calculator. The perimeter is 2 pi times 5. Again, you can use the calculator to find the area and the perimeter. Okay, not too difficult. Right, we're going to move on to half circles now. Okay, so now we're looking at half circles. So this is question 23. Okay, so they draw a half circle, okay, not the whole full circle, and they didn't really give us the diameter, the radius, but what they gave us is diameter. The diameter is the line for one part of the circle, center of the circle or reaching the other one. In other words, the diameter really, if you think about it, is double the radius. Okay? So if this is 48, that's going to be 24, and that's going to be 24. So the radius is 24. Okay? R is 24. Now, first thing, what is the area of that? We call it a semicircle. Okay? Area of a semicircle, half a circle. Okay? Semicircle means half a circle. Well, it's simply going to be the area of the circle divided by 2. Right? That makes sense. Divided by 2, because it's half a circle. So the area of a semicircle, half a circle, is pi r squared divided by 2. Okay? So it's going to be pi times 24 squared, because that's the radius, divided by 2. And again, you can do that. I'll leave you to do that in the calculator. I'm sure you can do it. What about the perimeter? Okay, again, it's not going to be the full perimeter of the circle. It's just going to be half of it, because we just went halfway around. So it's going to be 2 times pi, in this, 2 pi r divided by 2. We have to divide by 2. So it's going to be 2 pi times 24 divided by 2. And cancel the 2s, I get 24 pi. I still need to find the final answer. You need to give your answer in decimal places. So I'll let you do that. Okay? Now you'll see that some of the questions, like I've got here, you can have a look at 23. Okay, here's question 23. The line here, the diameter is dotted line. That means that when we're trying to calculate, it doesn't matter for the area, but it does matter for perimeter. That means the perimeter, I want you just to calculate this length. Don't add this. So if let's say we were to build a fence, the perimeter in this case means just that, just the solid line. We're not building the fence along here. But in other questions, for example 24, you'll see that there is a solid line here. So like I said, for area it doesn't matter, because the area of the semicircles, for both of these semicircles, is the same. Okay? There's no difference. The difference is in the perimeter. If the perimeter here was just half of that circle, like we've done here, 24 pi, the perimeter here is that half circle plus that line here. Okay, so here, if you were to build a fence, you're just building along here, you leave that open. But if you have a solid line here, what they're trying to tell you that you're building a fence along here and also here. So what will be the, I won't calculate the area because it's the same thing, okay, but what will be the perimeter? Okay, I'm using the same number, so I know this is 24, this is 24. So the perimeter, the length of this is just like we did here, it's going to be 2 pi r divided by 2. But I have to add this length. And what's the length here? It's 48. Okay. So it's going to be 2 pi. Should have put already 2 pi is 24, right? The r is 24. So I'm going to get 24 pi plus 48. See here I only had 24 pi. Here I have 24 pi plus the 48. As I said before, this is not the final answer. You need to put that in the calculator to find the final answer. But the most important thing to remember, when you have a solid line, it means you have to add that to the perimeter. When it's just a dotted line, it's not part of the perimeter. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Okay, so we just solved the problem with a semicircle, half a circle. Now we're going to look at the problem of a quarter of a circle, right? So if this angle is 90 degrees, like imagine you have a whole circle of pizza and you cut a quarter of it, right? That's a quarter. So what will be the area? Well, the area will be pi r squared, which is the area of the whole circle, divided by 4, correct? Okay? We just divide by 4 because we did a quarter of that circle. So in this case, it's going to be pi times 16 squared divided by 4. And again, I'll let you do that in your calculator. Okay? What will be the perimeter? Well, what's the perimeter of a circle? It's 2 pi r. But we only have a quarter of a circle, noticing that this is dotted line. So we're not adding, we're not building a fence here. We're only building a fence here. So we're going to divide that by 4 again. And that's going to be 2 pi times 16 divided by 4. And I'll let you do that in your calculator. Okay? Now, what would happen if it was a solid line? As there are problems there. Okay, this is, by the way, question 26, but question 27 has a solid line. Well, the area will stay the same. There's no difference. But in the perimeter, I have to add these two lines. Okay? Each one of them is 16, right? Because this is a radius, this is a radius. So I'm going to have to add plus 16 times 2. If it was a solid line. Okay, let's go have a look now at circles, which are not quarter or half. Okay, so this is a bit of a made-up question. I didn't take it from the book. But imagine you have a slice of pizza, and the angle is 30 degrees, and the radius is 10 centimeters. Pizza, cake, whatever you want, okay? And I want to find out the area. So what you got to do, this is a little bit difficult, okay? What you got to do is you got to just, I'm going to just tell you what to do and maybe not explain so much because I think it's going to be a bit hard to understand. What you got to do is, first of all, find the area of the circle, which is pi r squared. At pi r squared. Now then, you divide it by 360. Because in a circle, there's 360 degrees. You'll see why in a second why I'm dividing by 360. But just so you know, there are 360 degrees in a circle, okay? So we divide by 360 degrees, and then we time it by the angle here, which is in this case 30. Okay? So I've got, you divide the whole area by 360 degrees and time it by the angle which we have here. Now, why are we doing it? If we had a full circle, then the angle will be 360, and 360 divided by 360 will cancel each other out, and we'll end up with pi r squared. If I had a semicircle I would be looking at, okay, what's the angle here? That will be 180, and 180 divided by 360 is half, so we're just going to half the pi r squared, which is what we know is the case, okay? Area of half a circle, semicircle, is exactly pi r squared divided by 2. But in this case, okay, we've got 30, and we've got to put that in the calculator. Just put that in the calculator as it is. Pi r squared divided by 360 times 30, okay? Making sure that the time 30 is like in brackets like that, okay? Now, what about the perimeter? Because I have a dotted line, okay, I'm not going to count that, I'm not going to build a fence here. I will do exactly the same. I'll take the formula for the perimeter, 2 pi r, that's the formula for the perimeter. I'll divide it by 360, by the number of degrees in a circle, and I'll time it by the angle that I have in this case, okay? And again, I'll put that in the calculator just as it is like that, and I will get the answer. Okay? Now, if I had not a dotted line, a solid line, okay, the area of the perimeter, the area of the slice is not going to change. It's going to be the same. But for the perimeter, now I need to add these two lines. Each one of them is 10, so I'm just going to add 10 times 2. Okay? But, yeah, I think I'll pause here. We'll do a couple, maybe one difficult question, two more difficult questions, and then we'll stop. Okay, so as I told you before, last lesson, the most complicated questions are where we have a combination of different shapes. And now I really have to use my head here. Okay? We've got this little shape. Now that is not a shape that I know how to, don't have a formula for the area and the perimeter. But I can see that shape is made out of two things. Made out of this square. This is a square where all sides are 22. Okay? And this is a circle or semicircle. And the diameter is 22. That means the radius is 11, half the diameter. Right? Okay? Diameter, that's very important. Okay? I mentioned it once, is equal to radius times 2. It's very important that you know. So I already know that these two shapes here. Now, how do I find the area, the shaded area, what I drew here? Well, what I need to see is that the area, this area, okay, is equal to this area, the area of the square, minus the area of the semicircle. If I minus the area of this watermelon from the area of the square, I will just get what I need. So I need, the area that I'm looking for is the area of the square, which is 22 square. Put down the calculator, 22 square. And I minus the area of the semicircle with a radius r. But I've calculated area of semicircle with a radius r. It's simply pi times r square, which is 11 square, divided by 2, because it's a semicircle, half a circle. So again, we'll need you to do that in the calculator. 22 square minus pi times 11 squared divided by 2. That's the area. What about the perimeter? Perimeter, I just need to add up all the lines. So I've got this line, this line, this line, and that line. Now these three lines are easy. That's simply 22 times 3, right? There's 3 of those. So the only line I need to add is this line. Noticing that this is not a solid line, so I'm not building a fence here, I'm just building a fence there. But what's the line here? That is the perimeter of a semicircle. And I know how to calculate the perimeter of a semicircle. Okay? I know that it is 2 pi times r, which is 11, but I have to divide by 2. Okay? Because it's not the whole circle, it's just half of it. Okay? So the answer will be 66 plus 11 pi. And again, you need to put that in the calculator, find the decimal place. Let's just do that for you. Okay? So I'm going to write 66 plus 11 times pi. And then I wrote equal, and it gave me 100 divided by 5, 6. 100, 5, 6. And if I work with centimeters, that will still be centimeters. Okay? I think that's it. I think that's it. Okay? I'll let you do, I mean, in B, they're a little bit more. Shall I do one of B? I'll do one of B. I'll do one of B. Okay, so if you look at the bottom of the page, B, okay, page 197B, they are tough questions. And you probably will have at least one question like that in a test. And like I always tell with these tough questions, you don't need to freak out if you don't get a full answer, but just try and steal 1 or 2 marks. Okay, and I think you can do it, okay? So we've got a square, we've got a circle inside a big circle, and we want to find out the shaded area. And we know that these two are equal. Now, if this is 16, okay, that means the diameter of big circle is 16. That means the radius, okay, is this radius, okay, I'm drawing it here, is 8. And that means, because the radius is half the diameter, and that means if these two parts are equal to each other, that means each one of them is 4. Okay? That means, okay, what I'm asked you to do here, I should have started here, is find the area of the shaded bit. Okay, that little bagel, okay, that little circle. Okay? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to find the area of the big circle, this big circle, and I minus the area of the small circle. If I take away the area of the small circle from the big circle, I'm going to end up with that donut, isn't it? That's why I'm kind of calculating area of that donut. So the area of the big circle, that's not a problem, is pi r squared. What is the radius? The radius of the big circle is 8. So it's pi times 8 squared. What's the area of the small circle? Well, I figure out this is 4. So it's going to be pi times 4 squared. Okay, let's get along with that bit. Okay, pi times 8 squared is 64 pi, minus 4 squared is 16 pi. Okay, 64 pi. Now, before I go into the calculator, you can put it all in the calculator. You can even put that in the calculator. But I think it's good to just go along with it. What is 64 pi minus 16 pi? That is, how much is it? 68? No, I mean 48 pi. Just check that I'm making it right. What is 64 minus 16? Is 64. Is 48. So the answer is 48 pi. And now I will just put in the calculator 48 pi. Okay? Now I'm going to I'll ask you to have a go at some of these questions in B. They're very difficult. Some of them are more difficult than what I've done here. Okay? If you don't get it, just try and get 1 or 2 things. If you don't get it, before you call me, please check in the memo. Check in the memo. Okay? You should be able to understand it. And if you don't get it, please call me on WhatsApp. See you in the next lesson. Bye-bye, guys.